Hello, everyone, and welcome to another office hour for Social Media Pulse community. And my name is Phyllis Kerr, and I'm very happy to be here. And I want to just kind of dive into this thing, but I do want you to know that where we are having the conversation about this is over in the community, socialmediapulse.community. You're welcome to come over there. Everything is free. You just need to log in, and that's where the conversations are happening. So I don't know if you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or wherever you are today, but this thing that we're going to talk about today, of course, is top of mind for a lot of social media managers. And I think it's important to understand where we are with AI as marketers, modern marketers. I think that's kind of funny, but this is I would say our short list, but also a little bit of a hack of how to navigate through all the AI tools that you're being bombarded with. And I know you're being bombarded with them because I'm being bombarded with them. And I like to test things out and I like to kind of check into things. And so I have enjoyed the last few months really diving in. But I understand how overwhelming it can be. So let's talk about this a little bit. I put hundreds of tools here, but actually it's thousands and thousands of tools. And the reason I know that is because the people who are keeping directories of the tools say that up to 1,000 new tools are being submitted to these directories every single day. And most of them are redundant or are not very good and all of that, but a few will rise to the top through time. And if you've been in this industry for any amount of time, you will know that this is the same thing that happened with social media tools back in the day. So there are so many tools. So how do you decide which ones you absolutely need? Because these AI tools are exactly like all the other tools that we use as social media managers. We tend to collect them, and I'm talking about myself. We tend to collect them, pay for them, and then not use them. So I think it's really important from the get-go to really think about what you need. And as far as I can tell, all AI tools fall into 4 categories. You have the text generation and enhancement tools that are mostly focused on text. You have the audio generation and enhancement tools, which we'll get into. And then, of course, everybody's all into the image generation and enhancements. And I have a really cool tool to show you for that. And then video generation. Now, as far as which of these is really working well right now, the text generation and enhancements is by far the most complete, I think, of all the types of AI tools. Audio is coming up there. Image is like exploding with all the things that you can do. And video is just starting to really develop, but there's some cool tools that you can use as a social media manager. And remember, I'm focused in on you as a social media manager or agency owner on these tools. So let's talk about them a little bit. But in order to really not be overwhelmed with the amount of tools out there, build yourself a checklist. Put text tools, image tools, video tools, and audio tools if you're going to use audio. And then list the tools there that you have found, narrow it down, and then just land on one. Try to just land on one that does what you need it to do. Okay, so here we go. We're going to dive into the text tools to explore now. This is my short list. You might have a different short list, but I want to explain these to you and also give you some resources for this. So my short list includes ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT every single day. I also use it with a few plugins in a few different places, but the core is ChatGPT. And then Magi, I think you guys have probably seen this if you're over on Facebook or on Twitter. Dustin is really promoting this, and it's a fantastic tool. If you're using ChatGPT every single day, then you know what it's like to open it up and just see, in my case, hundreds and hundreds of results through time, and there's no organization to them. They're a mix of different clients that I have and personal projects that I have going on, so it's really a mess. So Dustin has really figured out a way to really get into that, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Grammarly Go is on my short list because I use Grammarly all the time, also in my business, and I also like the way it integrates. You know how Grammarly sort of is everywhere wherever you are on the internet doing all the things, checking your grammar, checking your typos, all of that. Well, Grammarly Go is that same thing where it's everywhere and you can find it everywhere and use it immediately. And I think that's what people are going to find is if they can use a tool right where they are, that's the tool they're going to keep using. So Grammarly Go just came out. We'll go a little bit into that. Same thing for Paragraph AI. I just used Paragraph again this morning just because it's so quick and available and it does what I need it to do. So let's dive into those. But first, for each of these sections, text, audio, video, and images, I have these two links, one at Futurepedia and the other at Future Tools. And I just want to go ahead and go over to there because I want you to see these two particular tools. These are directories. So the gentlemen that curate these directories have a wonderful way for you to search for things because there's so many tools, right? So you can, if you're in Future Tools, you can go in here and you can say, okay, well, I actually need text to speech or text to audio, or I need to get some marketing AI tools, or maybe I need copywriting AI tools, which is what I have selected here. And so let's say you have, let's just change it over to social media. And then you sort it on the right side. You can do it by newest. You can do it by most upvoted, which is what I usually do to see what really comes up. And immediately, I see several that I love. Opus Clips is like the best thing turning a video into short clips. I think it's brilliant, and I think everyone should at least look into this one. And then here's all of these have to do with creating social media posts. So you can go through here and decide. This one was actually very cool where you could create content from a YouTube video. A little hint on this one is if you use it, you have to use a video that has closed captioning and, script in there because that's one of the things they scan through to be able to figure out where to make a short clip from your YouTube video. So, sometimes they don't tell you that right up front, and so you have to learn these things. But anyway, so here, this one is really good, and you can go through here. Matt's picks are very good. He's very discerning in what he selects, and so here are some things, and all these are ads at the top. Sometimes, no, these are all his good. And then also he has a great newsletter. It's very helpful to get the newsletter. And then the other one that I want to tell you about is Futurepedia. Same thing, lots of tools. But this is where you would go first, and I would just go through the categories first. So they have them categorized under text. So these are all the things, all the tools for text. You can see there's a lot under Social Media Assistant. You can go through copywriting, email, general writing, paraphraser, all of those things. And then these are the image tools. These are the code. Here's the audio, video, and then they also have a business section. So this is something that we don't think about too often, but maybe you have a client that has e-commerce, and so you can go into these tools and see what they're about. And then there's a big section on other. There's dating, fitness, fun tools. Sometimes you just need to go take a break and go look at the fun tools. So anywho, you can go in here and let's just very quickly, let's go to copywriting. And now you will see that you can also sort from here, just like with the other directory. You can sort by verified, which is always a good thing, or you can do it by most popular. So if we do it just like we did the other one and sort it by most popular, then you'll see what comes up here. And I think you might recognize some of these tools like Jasper, and Writer is getting a lot of press these days. And so see how hard it is, because now I'm overwhelmed just showing you all these tools. It's very difficult to just leave the tools alone and just use the ones that are working for you. But anyway, these are the two directories I want you to know about. All right, so now let's get back to the text tools. I mentioned the first one that I wanted you to know about is ChatGTP. I also use a plugin for ChatGTP called AIPRM Premium. And it's fairly affordable in their lowest tier. But what it gives you is prompts that have already been created. So it's easier to get to the output and you don't have to spend a lot of time working on the prompts in just regular ChatGTP. So there's a YouTube script creator, which is super helpful. There's content rewriters, so you can rewrite things that you've created with AI. There's a blog post title generator. And again, you can do this manually inside a chat, or you can use a system that has already created these templates, basically, or tools that focus on one thing. I have used many of these with my clients, and they're very, very good. So that's chat, and you can see all of the things over here. The next one that was on my list for text AI was Magi. And this one, again, is super cool, especially if you use ChatGTP a lot and you need to make sense of the output and the things that you have, because there are some wonderful things that are available in here. The biggest thing is chat folders. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I don't know if you remember this, but when Canva finally created folders and we had like thousands of images that we could now organize and find things, right? It's the same thing. Folders are super important for organization and keeping you out of overwhelm. So this is one of the features inside of his AI tool. Also, it's got all of these great things, and you can put things side by side. You can look at a document and see the AI results with it. There's it's just well designed. So again, if you're in ChatGTP like a lot during the day as a social media manager, truly a tool like this is going to make your life easier. So check into that one. The next one that was on my list for text was Grammarly Go. Now, Grammarly Go, like I said before, is built into your experience on the internet, and it shows up in different places for you. And what happens is you can write something that you would normally write, and then you can get Grammarly Go to make it better. And I use this all the time in all the things. Let me just see if I can live do this for you. Let's go over to Facebook. It's a little dangerous going over to Facebook. But let's say I want to write something. I want to write, this is going to be fun. I hope you can join me for this great event. And I think to myself, boy, that's super boring. And I really don't think this makes any sense to me. Then there over here is Paragraph AI. But normally, right there, you'll see this is the Grammarly Go interface. So I have all this highlighted, and then if I come over here to improve it, I can click that, and you can see it's working on it. And notice that it's set for casual, right? And if I go over here and say, make it inspirational, then they rewrite it. I warmly invite you to an amazing event. Your presence would make it all the more enjoyable. So you can see how it's built in to the whole system here. Now, if I don't use Grammarly Go and I want to use Paragraph AI, again, as long as the text is highlighted and I click this, you can see it puts the highlighted text right in here. And then I can adjust it. And I use the adjustments all the time. On here, I can say, well, I actually want to write it as if I'm an influencer, and I want to adjust the tone. So the tone I want to adjust it for is I want to make it a little more informal, a little more friendly and a lot more optimistic. And then when I do that, it's going to rewrite it as if it's from an influencer who's a little informal, a little more friendly, and a little more optimistic. And so here we go. And we'll see how, hey guys, that's an influencer. I'm so excited to announce that I will be attending an amazing event and hope you can join me. Trust me, this is going to be one for the books. Okay, so you can start there and you can edit and work on that. But this is way better than the one sentence that I created. So those are two text things that are integrated right into, oh, and by the way, all you have to do is, after you do this, all you have to do is copy it and then go over here and you can just go ahead and, sorry, and then you can just paste it, all right? So, and then notice that it puts the written with paragraph AI. This is something, if I go in here, I'm not going to just post this as is. I'm going to go in and edit it, and then I'm going to take this out. Because if I go in and edit it a lot, then it becomes mine. So, anywho, there we go. I'm going to close that out because we don't need it, and get rid of Facebook because we don't need it, and we want to leave. Thank you. All right, so we went over ChatGTP, either alone or with a plugin like AI RPM, PMR, PRM. Sorry, I don't know why I keep doing that. AI PRM, and then and I go and they have like I said, this is a premium, freemium. No, it's not freemium anymore. It was when it was beta. Now there is a small charge for probably as much as you need. But again, if you don't want to work on your prompts and you want the prompts already done for you, this is a great tool. The other one was Magi, the other one was Grammarly Go, and the other one was Paragraph AI. Okay, so those were the ones that I had set up for the text tools. Let's just put that up here real quick. And then this. Now, by the way, these slides will be available to you as soon as this is over, and you can go and click all the links. All right, so now let's go to the next one, which is audio tools to explore. And hands down, 11 Labs has got to be the most fun and best of all the audio tools that I've tested so far. There are lots of other audio tools. This one seems to have it nailed in pretty good. So again, when you find a tool that works for you, stick with it and don't get lost in all the options available to you. Also, Descript has an amazing audio system where you train it to learn your voice, just like you do in 11 Labs, and then you can type things that are missing in your video. And hopefully you guys know the magic of Descript. First of all, Descript is a magical tool, hands down. But in terms of audio, if you're creating audio for something, you can use it for this too, not just video. And then the other short list tool that I have for audio is HeyGen. And HeyGen just changed their name to HeyGen. I can't remember what it was, but anywho, HeyGen. And then again, here's the quick links that are already filtered for text-to-speech tools for you. So let's go over to these tools and let's go over to 11 Labs. So I have an account in 11 Labs and I want to show you how this works. The first thing you need to do is you need to give 11 Labs samples of your voice. And then it takes those samples and mushes them together and makes your voice so that you can put in any script and it will read it. And I know you've probably seen Molly in the community and also over on Instagram, and also Deb doing the same thing using this particular tool. So I want to tell you, have to step back one step in order to do this. You have to record your voice in at least 1 minute samples. And the way I did this is I just used an old tool that a lot of people know about, which is Audacity. And Audacity, you just click the button and it records your voice. And you can download it as an MP3 file, and then you upload it here to 11 Labs. They suggest that you upload like 25 samples, right? So that would take a long time. But I have up here 4 samples of my voice. The first sample is I just picked something on my desk and started reading it. And when I read it in a very Zen tone, right? I just read the words the way they were on the page. And just using that sample of my voice made the output very Zen and not really like me. So the next audio sample I did, I read everything over enthusiastically, like, hey, your creative AI toolkit. And I tried to really keep that energy with it. And between the Zen Phyllis, and the enthusiastic Phyllis, it sort of made a better sample of my voice. So I've done that a couple of times now, but they say for each voice you can have up to 25. Now, notice you can have up to 10 voices for this particular plan. And I could ask my clients to do this and have their voices in here and all of that. So what do you do with these voices once you get them? Well, you can use them as the narration over a video, which is, I've done that. And if you come over to the community, you can see an example of how I did that. You can use these as the background audio for images or video or anything over on Instagram. You can take it over into Canva and use it as the audio track, which is another system that I use too. So creating that audio track, and now you can use it in lots of different places and in different ways. It's pretty spooky how good it is. So I hope you give that one a try. Now, the second tool on this list was Descript. And again, like I said, if you haven't used Descript, it is pure magic. If you use any type of video for yourself or for your clients, this is something you need to know about. And I just want to explain a little bit of how it works. So again, you can use it for all of these different things, right? And notice that they have their own AI voice generator thing here, but these are they have stock voices and you can make your own. But the way this works is you upload a video, they get they pull the transcript from the video. You can then edit the video by editing the script, the transcript, so that if you cut out a line here on the transcript, it automatically cuts it from the video. So it's quite magical. But let's say you cut that audio or you cut a word from that audio. Maybe you said the wrong price or the wrong something, and then it cuts it out of the video. But you can type in the correct thing, and as long as you've trained the voice inside of your script, it will add your voice for that new word on the video. So magic video editing. And it's right now that is getting to be the standard for all video editing, is that process, right? So if you have a client or if you yourself do a lot of video work, then Descript is a tool that needs to be on your short list. And don't get lost inside of other tools, except for maybe Opus Clips. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and open Opus because it's not on my list, but it is definitely a tool that I recommend if you have long videos and you need to make them short. So it's really super easy to do. It's smart. It understands your video and it does face tracking. It creates the caption that you need for it. It's really, really, really good. I'm going to see if I can sign in and show you what I did with mine. But this particular tool, again, if you work with video for yourself or for clients, is something that you need to have on your short list. All right, so let's go in here. And thank you, let's go. And you'll see, hopefully, if it pulls it up, I have 5 hours left and I'm in a free trial. So you can get a lot of work done in a free trial. So let's go look at my work. Where's my clips? Don't know where my clips are. Okay. Well, anywho, you drop a video link in here, and then it turns it into up to 10 different shorts. And then inside of those shorts, maybe I'll come back and review this and show you how it works. But I'm just going to explain it now, and then maybe I'll come back and show you how it works. But you put in the video link, you click the button. It takes a minute to put them all up, and it creates different shorts. And you can go into the shorts and you can edit them. You can edit the clip, you can edit the captioning, you can edit all the things, and it's really, really nice. And then you just download the ones you want and use them wherever you want to use them. I have used them on YouTube Shorts, and I'm not ready for TikTok, you guys. So, all right, so where were we? All right, so we did the script, and now let's go to HeyGen. So HeyGen is one of the types of tools, and there's like many of these tools where there's an avatar that speaks in your voice with your script. So that's what's kind of cool about it, is you can actually, I don't like it in my voice. I like it in the avatar's voice. And you can choose all of them. You can create all sorts of different things. You pick your avatar, you put in your script, and it generates the videos. I did one for an e-commerce client, and it came out pretty cool. And the only thing you need to know, and this is a little tip for using this in any audio generation or animated generator or avatar generated tools. If you have a word or a name that sounds differently than it's spelled, you should definitely do it phonetically on the script, so that, you know, people have a hard time knowing how to say care, for example, because of the K and the H in my name. So I always, in these scripts, if I'm going to say my name, I spell it C-A-R-E, right? So that I'm not confusing the AI and how to pronounce something. Also, if you have a URL that you want the avatar to say, you should type it out like rvlifestyle.com / write all those things out, and then write the rest of it, so that the avatar says the actual words that you need to say. Just a little tip about using these particular generators for this. So again, there's some really cool features in this one. You can do text to speech. You can do, you can create a template so that you can just like upload scripts and everything's put into place and you're done. Very, very nice thing. There is some, range in pricing, but again, when you look at any tool, you think to yourself, am I going to use this on a daily or weekly basis? Then it's worth the money to have a tool that does what you need it to do. If you're going to use it once a month, then probably it would not be the thing for you to use, unless your client is paying you a lot of money for that once a month tool. All right, so now let's go back to the presentation. So those were the audio tools: ElevenLabs, Descript, and HeyGen. Now let's look at the image tools. Now, this is where literally it can be super confusing, because there's so many tools and everybody says, oh, you need to do Midjourney, or no, you have to do DALL-E, and maybe the Bing image creator is the one to use. So here's the thing about the tools. All the tools have a different output and look to them, even if you're using the same prompt. So my favorite tool in here is Catbird. And the reason I like Catbird, and I'll put it up in just a moment, is that Catbird you'll put in one prompt at the top, and then Catbird will show you how it looks on Midjourney, how it looks on DALL-E, how it looks on Stable Diffusion, and like 15, 20 different other tools. And then you can get a feeling for how the outputs look, because they all have a little different angle to them. So Catbird is the one that I think everyone should start with if they're not used to working with an image generator, so they can get a feel for which systems they really like the most, for the way their client likes things to look, all of those things. So, and Adobe Firefly, I want to pull this one out and say a few things on this too. Adobe Firefly right now is in beta, and you can't use anything generated there for commercial use yet. What they're trying to do, which is a big deal in the image AI industry, you could say, is this whole idea of copyright. So Adobe is promoting the idea that they are going to fix this problem within their system, so that everything that's being used as a source for the image generation is copyright free. So stay tuned for that. We'll see if they can actually work that technology out. But I think if you use Adobe products, this is a no-brainer, because once you build something in Adobe Firefly, you can then adjust it inside your Adobe Photoshop or any other places that you use with Adobe. So again, these built-in systems that are built into tools that you already use are things to look at with the image tools also. All right, and then also you have the Bing Image Creator, which, by the way, is fairly good. I'm going to go over here, just hold on one moment, and I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to... Okay. So I'm going to add this to the stream so you can see it. This is Catbird. This is the one I mentioned in the beginning, that if you're unsure of which image tool to use, this might be a great place to start. The nice thing about this too is it will create 72 images, right? So I got to make up something here. We're just going to make something up. Retail storefront with flowers and fruit. This is how bad my prompt skills are. But the cool thing about Catbird is that it says right here, improve. You should always, always click the improve. And watch what happens. And when it takes my retail storefront with flowers and fruit and improves it, it becomes a lovely prompt that's more appropriate for image generation. And it'll take just a moment here to make the prompt better. Worth the wait, you guys. Oh, by the way, while we're waiting for Catbird to do its thing, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in there. I don't know who you are, Facebook person, but it's nice to see whoever you are. I'll see you when I go over to Facebook and see, or you can say hi again in the comments and tell me your name. But it's nice to be back. Glad you're back. Come on, Catbird, let's do this. It's getting there. It didn't do it, so let's try clicking it one more time. Come on. This is the other thing about, these tools, is sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Sometimes ChatGPT is completely down, and sometimes, yesterday it was really funny. No matter what I put in, it kept saying, please put this in English, and it was in English. So anyway, all right, so here we go. This is what it turned it into. Photorealistic high, ultra high res, photorealistic, perfect lighting, lifelike textures, aerial view. I don't know if I like the aerial views. I can take this out if I don't like it. A charming retail storefront adorned with vibrant flowers and a colorful display of fresh fruit, inviting customers to step inside and explore. See how much better that is? So we're going to run it. And it is going to take a minute for it to run. But what you'll get now is a sample of each AI tool and how that prompt would show up in that tool. So let's see how this looks. I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can see who the prompt is here. So, and we have all of these that are starting to show up, and they're loading. So you can see here, you can see which tool is being used to create this sample. So your sensibilities might be a little different. And so it's nice seeing what they all look like. This is not all of them. They're still not all loading. But you can also go over here and you can select the ones you like. After a while, you might decide that, you really like certain tools better than other certain tools, and you can select them and only use those models. And then also you can do a safe search, which is always good to put on. You can also decide, and if you do prompting, you can decide your guidance scale, how much you want it to hold to this prompt, or if you want it to have a lot of leeway in how it's done. So anywho, so this gives you like this age of the edge of realism. That's an interior, not a storefront. So it missed it on that. But this one, this Dreamlike Diffusion, this one looks really great. And you can see, if you click into it, the prompt, the negative prompt, it took out the things that I don't want to see and all of that. And you can regenerate it from here, and you can upscale it from here, and then you can download it. So it's a super cool tool, and I really like Catbird a lot, you guys. So make sure you check that one out. The other one that I want to show real quick, let's see if I can open up Firefly for you guys. And Firefly has some pretty cool things available to it. For example, you have the text effects. Now, right now, you can create text effects and use them in things because these are things that you can generate very easily. But like I said earlier, that Adobe is working really hard to work out the copyright issues on this. So as it stands right now, you can't use a lot of these in commercial venues, but coming soon. So you can recolor vectors here. You can do text to image. You can do text effects, which is a lot of fun to do. And then you can see all the things that people have done. And there's, lots of support here in terms of the community. And like I said, these tools that are built into tools that you already use are the ones that are really going to rise to the surface for a lot of people. So anyway, Adobe Firefly, again, I could spend an hour just telling you guys about how to do all of this. But I don't have enough time at the moment, and if I sign in, you might see my password. So we'll deal with that. But that one is a very good one, and I would definitely check into it. And then the other one that I wanted to show you guys is the Bing Image Creator. This one works pretty good. So if I go over here and I put in that same prompt about a retail storefront with flowers and fruit. Now I could just copy the one that I used over on Catbird, by the way. I can just go ahead and copy this and put it over here instead of my poor, pathetic little prompt. And then I'm already in here, so maybe it will log me in. We'll see. Not sure if it will. There we go. Yes, I'm in. And so it's creating, so we'll see what happens and see how it brings it out. The thing is that that Bing is doing with this creator, creating image thing is they work off of these points and also these things. So, see how almost cartoonish these are. So what I would have to do is go back into the prompt and work on that. But they're very quick and it looks great. I'm going to show you some other ones that I've created through time. I created this one with fish, and these look fantastic. Super cool. This one I had lemons in a wooden bowl, which I could absolutely use in social media posts with text over the top of that. So there's lots of things that I've tried inside of here, and it works pretty good, you guys. So, and it's powered by DALL-E, so that's how that whole thing works. All right, back to the presentation. So again, this is my short list. If you find tools that work for you, then put those on your short list and on your checklist to do. But these are the ones that I think have the most promise for staying around and that have the best function and UI for everyone to do. And again, there's the 2 links for Futurepedia and Future Tools. All right, next on the list is video. So like I said in the very beginning, video is probably the least developed at the moment and has the most potential because you can almost see the future with video, how it's going to go. Right now, it's limited, but truly, this is going to be the future of AI in terms of video. Right now, I only have 3 tools that I have on my short list that I recommend. All the other tools have a tremendous amount of tech requirement from you, or they're a lot more involved in terms of how to set them up. So I was trying to stay top level for these tools. But HeyGen, which I've already gone over a little bit, which creates video with your script moving on someone else's mouth. And then Creative Reality Studio, which used to be called DID. I'm going to go into that one. And then Kyber. These are the 3 right now that are on my short list. So if we go back over to here, and we're going to go down to HeyGen. And again, this is one we've already talked about, where you pick your avatar, put in your script, and then it creates a video with that person saying your script, and it's lovely. And I have done this also and created nice little videos. To get rid of the branding and the overlay of the branding on the videos, you will have to pay for this product. But again, if you need to create all of these for clients, it's well worth it. But the other one is the one I want to talk about. It used to be called DID, but now it's called Creative Reality Studio. And what it does is it creates video from, again, you create an avatar. And you can see some examples here. And it's made with Stable Diffusion, which is an AI image tool. And then you upload your script, and then it speaks. Now, this is a lot like if you've kept up in the news for deep fake videos, because you can actually use your own face or a face of someone else, a stock image of a face, or even an illustration, and it will talk. And so it's kind of spooky. But the neat thing is if you don't want to get on screen, you can make an avatar of yourself, put in the script, and have this lovely avatar say what you want to say. And depending on your business model and what you're trying to promote, this might work for you. And again, this is at the very beginning of this type of technology. All right. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of nice, normal looking people here that you can choose from. You can also, it's connected with Canva. So the Canva users can cool and do that. You can create a presentation with different people speaking at different times. Super cool stuff, you guys, as far as a tool goes. So you can use it for all of these different things. And again, like I have done this in the past, and it's very cool. All right, the third tool that I wanted to talk about was Kyber. And this is more what I would call a GIF creator, because what it does is it takes your image and then it makes it animated as if it's in a video. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll show you in just a minute how that works. So, and it also has a music video thing. So what you do is, let's see if my videos are in here, because I have one. Here we are. All right, so this one starts with an image, an AI image of my granddaughter. And then I put in the prompt a secret garden in the style of anime. And so that's the image, and then it turns it into all these different layers of things. And it's sort of like a GIF animation, basically. But there are way more complicated and involved videos than just this one thing right here. But this shows you how it moves through different variations of the image using the prompt. So hopefully that makes sense. But it's fun to play around with. And again, this is the beginning stages of all those video things. All right, now back to the presentation. So those are my 3. And again, the direct links to text to video where you can look at all the things. I'm just going to answer a couple of questions right here. Another Facebook user, you guys, if you're watching from a group, you have to give StreamYard permission to use your name and face because that's the rules for Facebook. Facebook notified me about the training just now, and the word AI caught my eye. Yes, and again, we have inside of Social Media Pulse community, we have an entire mission. The way we define missions is that for a certain amount of time, we are focused on a topic, and we are focused on AI right now for at least all of May and probably June also. And so there's a mission for AI. And if you go to that post inside of Social Media Pulse community, you'll see all of the training that we have in there, all of the videos, all of the interviews, all of the everything that has to do with AI in there on that one post. And it will teach you everything you need to know. All of this is free, and it's super easy to navigate there and do all the things. So you just go to socialmediapulse.community and see the AI mission post, which is right up featured at the top, and you'll be able to see everything. And we have so many things being added daily and weekly in there for these missions. So that's where you find all the things if you want to go and find more stuff about this. Here we go. Another question. It says, random question. What are you using to stream this webinar? I'm using StreamYard. And StreamYard is a fantastic tool, and it's one of my favorites. All right. Any other questions? You're welcome to put them in there, and I can. It doesn't have to be about AI. It can be about anything you want to talk about, or how to use these in social media marketing or online marketing, or what are the limitations for using these inside of everything. So it's very important to do that. And well, thank you very much. You're very welcome. So again, at the very beginning of this presentation, I gave you a tip, and that tip is to build yourself a checklist. And I would add audio tools onto this slide, and I'll probably do that before I share it in the comments. But build yourself a checklist, and only have 1 or 2 tools for each of these categories, because if you just go into those directories and start looking at all the tools, you will get overwhelmed and tired, and then you will not even use a tool. So find a tool, dig into it, figure out how it works, and that way you can use AI with some effectiveness. So yeah, that's the mom and grandma in me. Sorry, I had to say it, but that's a super important thing to do. All right. Are there any other questions about any of the things? I'm happy to answer anything here or over in the community, again, over at socialmediapulse.community. So any questions? Going once, going twice? I hope everybody's having a great day. Stay out of overwhelm. Use your checklist. Only use the tools on your short list. And I hope everybody has a very successful time with using AI. All right. See you guys later. Bye.